to welcome everyone to AARP Wyoming's Video Voter Guide series for 2024. I'm Tom Laycock with AARP Wyoming, and today we're joined by McKay Erickson, who's running for the Wyoming Legislature in House District 21, located in western Lincoln County. AARP has a proud 40-year history of nonpartisan engagement and does not endorse or oppose candidates, nor does AARP make contributions to political campaigns or candidates at any level. Instead, we ask questions so our members understand where candidates stand on important issues and can make their own decisions on Election Day. Today, we'll ask Mr. Erickson 3 questions, allowing for a 1-minute and 30-second response to each. Then we'll give him 2 minutes to make his pitch to the voters of House District 21. So, Mr. Erickson, our first question is this. Over the last 2 years, the Wyoming Legislature has made providing property tax relief for its citizens a priority. In your view, what's the most effective way to provide relief while balancing revenue needs for our schools, counties, and other entities that rely on property tax to maintain sustainable funding?
Yeah, well, I appreciate being here, and I appreciate the opportunity to answer. I'm a student of the property tax and what's happening in the state of Wyoming. I certainly know that we've got to continue to keep it as a main priority in the legislature, and I will do everything that I can do to keep that in the forefront. But my perception of that and the things that I've learned is I really like the proposals and the law that is going into effect with the number of people over 65, 64 and older. And if you've been in the state for 25 years, that's I think going to be a great thing for the retired individuals and the elderly, as far as being able to stay in their homes and be able to keep up with the increase in the assessor values that have taken place, especially in western Wyoming. That's a major issue. And I believe that can be, I'm more of a consumption tax guy, but I know that we have to have an ability to maintain our schools and our programs and everything like that. And I would like to see those ideas continued in trying to give the opportunity for everyone, including all ages, to pay less of a property tax. And there's some great ideas out there, and I'm hoping to be able to go forward with those.
Our second question for today is this. Wyoming's population of those age 60 and over grew by 47% from 2010 to 2020, while the state's entire population grew just 2%. We know 64% of all nursing home beds in Wyoming are paid for right now by the state Medicaid program. What do you see as the greatest barrier to helping our older adults age in the homes and communities? And what solutions would you provide?
Well, I'm a major advocate along the conservative line, and that is to, if there's a time that you need to seek help, seek it from your family first before you go and expect the government to solve problems. But obviously, I know that there's a ton of people that simply cannot provide on their own, and they have that's sometimes their only option. I would not propose in cutting that Medicaid especially in the elderly's case, and help provide as much as we possibly can for that. But I'd also be a major advocate of looking for ways that we can slow government growth so that there is that money that is available to put into programs such as that towards the end of life care or just any type of nursing home facilities. I think that's important that we prioritize that and make sure that any money that we could save, we had an opportunity to use that in those cases. And it is increasing. We're seeing lots of older people move into Lincoln County as their retirement. So it's going to be a lot bigger deal as the time goes on, and we have more and more people move in. So
our third and final question for today is this. Emergency medical services are not considered an essential service in Wyoming, and in some areas, ambulance services do not have a sustainable funding source. Over the last 10 years, Wyoming has seen 16 EMS services providers in the state fold or consolidate with another service. What solutions do you offer for ensuring access to ambulance services?
Well, that's kind of a situation where, again, go to family, go to community, go to religious organizations. And I know that doesn't apply so much with the ambulance service, but it's a little bit of a consequence of where we live. And it's hard to provide ambulance service and keep them making money in this rural community. But I would continue in receiving, encouraging them to receive federal grants that are available in this area to be able to provide that emergency healthcare medical service in EMS. And that's, to be honest with you, that's something that I'm meeting with Dan Dockstetter on Monday to talk about some of that, because when you ask me this question, I'm like, I need to know more about it. And so I don't have all the answers as far as that goes, but certainly I'm willing to look into that and not saying absolutely not right off the bat. So I'm in the process of learning more about that and possible ways of funding that as we speak.
Mr. Erickson, thank you very much for taking the time to answer our questions. Now we want to make sure that you got 2 minutes to explain to the voters why you believe you're the best person to represent House District 21.
Okay, thanks. I'd just like to introduce myself mainly and talk about the opportunities that I've had to start out this campaign and be a participant in. It's just been a great experience for me. When I was not hesitant about running, but of course you have your drawbacks and you say, man, I wonder how this is going to go. And I've just been overwhelmed with the amount of support that I've received. And a lot of that comes from my background, having lived here all my life and having made good connections and positive relationships throughout the community. I really feel like that's something that's paying off right now. I've got so many volunteers and so much support coming my way that it's very much overwhelming to actually see that. But again, I think that's come through my history of, I taught for 30 years at Star Valley High School, and then I've had a individual private business, small business for 23 years, and that's in the timber and tree removal business. And it's I've made a lot of good relationships through that, and pretty much know everything that is happening from Smoot on the south end all the way to Alpine on the north end of Star Valley. And I feel very fortunate to be able to run as the representative for that district, because they're my people. And I think I embody the conservative Republican view that is so predominant here in Lincoln County. So that's been a great thing for me to take place. I've built strong relationships with the current elected officials. I know them very well. I participate in as many things as I possibly can throughout Lincoln County, all the way from mule deer recovery to forest planning to development of mines and other things that are taking place around here. And I'm a big believer in those natural resources and how they can help us as a state.
Well, thank you, Mr. Erickson. We appreciate your time today, and to the viewers, thank you for joining us for this video voters guide as well. We encourage you to keep checking Cowboy State Daily and AARP Wyoming's Facebook page for more video voter guides in the days to come.